Hey, right away, I want you to go ahead and share this and repost this everywhere you can. Here's why. I have on our program today Clay Clerk. Now, Clay Clerk's going to be on, and I believe it's going to be a powerful conversation. I want him to just really take his time and talk about central bank digital currency, where this is headed. Honestly, we want to get into some of the topics involving this demonic agenda that's mutilating our younger generation, what's happening there. And I'm really believing he's going to break down some data. So it's my hope that Clay will just kind of go at it and really help us the way only Clay can. And I encourage you to check out his material and all that. Now, just before I get into this, I want to thank the partners and friends of this ministry. It's because of you that we can have guests on, broadcast all over the world, and we're taking territory like never before. And so if you want to become part of our partner family, I encourage you to go to josephz.com right away. Go there today, become a partner. You'll hear from us. We'll reach out to you, and we're so grateful for you. Well, I got a lot to get into today. Clay's going to take the floor, and I'm inviting him on the program. So if you would, please repost this, share this, tell somebody about it. And please, if you would, help me welcome Clay Clerk. Well, Clay, I want to welcome you to the program today. We're going to talk about some pretty crazy stuff that's going on. And I just want to welcome you. Thanks for coming back.
Hey, thank you for allowing me to be here with you. And I want you to know, I first heard of you. I've done a lot of deep dives into CERN. And I kept running into videos that you've recorded about CERN. And I think your discernment to raise concern about CERN was very much appreciated then and now. So again, I just want to say thank you for all the work that you do.
Well, thank you, Clay. It's really good to be a part of the Pun Podcast. I like it. But
nice.
Hey, one of the things I want to ask you about today, and I know our viewers, listeners, they might have an elevator speech level of understanding about this, but I want to get into this topic of the new form of digital currency they're pushing called central bank digital currency. Can you give us a quick overview? And I want to ask some questions about it today.
Let's do this. First thing we need to know is everyone needs to Google search. And by the way, James is with me here. James, I met James at the Reawaken America tour in Pennsylvania. And James, I'm going to have you take notes because I'm going to make sure that I'm an effective teacher today because I got 10 points. I want to make sure I'm effectively teaching, okay?
Welcome, James.
So point number one is MIT developed what's called the quantum dot. And everyone should look it up in Google right now. Everybody should write down MIT quantum dot. And when you do, you're going to see that MIT developed the quantum dot, which stores your medical and financial records under your skin. It's called the MIT quantum dot. That's point number one. Point number two, MIT developed the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, via what is called the Hamilton Project. But if you just Google search MIT CBDCs, you could see that. Now, point three is the MIT lab developed the quantum dot and the CBDCs was funded by Epstein and Gates. Epstein has a temple on his island to pray to Satan, and Bill Gates decided to feature Marina Abramovich during the Microsoft Easter commercial. So you might have some concern there that who's funding the MIT lab. Point number four, MIT. You're going, well, MIT developed the quantum dot. Okay, the CBDCs, but how does it work? Great. Point number four, quantum dot network. That's what it's called, quantum.network. That's the website, quantum.network. And the CEO of the company, his name is Gilbert Verdian. And I'll explain to you what Gilbert Verdian has to say about this money in just a second. So we're on the same page. So the foundation for the CBDCs is called quant.network. So James, can you repeat real quick what we just went over to make sure I'm being an effective teacher? Here we go. I'm ready.
Yeah, so the MIT quantum dot, it stores medical and financial information underneath your skin.
Point one.
All right. And it was funded by Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein.
Yep.
And they pray to Satan on that island. And then the MIT quantum dot network and its CEO, Jeffrey Verdian.
Okay. So Gilbert Verdian.
Gilbert.
And you're going, it's good. Okay. So again, let's do 4 points again. MIT developed the quantum dot.
Yep.
MIT developed CBDCs.
Yep.
Point number three, MIT was funded by Epstein and Gates. And four is quant.network ties it all together.
Yep. Now,
this is going to be crazy. I'm going to throw this question to you.
Okay.
Satan is the author of confusion.
He is.
So let's talk about what is Baphomet. And so Baphomet is this figure that is this statue or deity that's indicative of devil worship, Satan worship. That's Baphomet. Right. So it's a double-standard, non-binary, false
Demon. Yeah.
Demon. Yeah. And by the way, Elon Musk chooses to wear the Baphomet costume for Halloween. His lady friend, Grimes, posed like Baphomet during her Vanity Fair shoot. So we got all that going for us. And so there's Satan is the author of confusion. So I want people to listen to this for a second. This is Gilbert Verdian. And if this makes sense to your listeners, this is concerning. So if you're listening right now and this makes sense, you go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Then I'm going to pray for you. So here we go. Listen to this. This is Gilbert,
yep,
the head of Quant, explaining how the new monetary system will work.
So money is evolving from a very binary thing, which is where it is today, to a very complicated, intelligent form of money, which we call smart money.
A non-binary thing.
Non-binary.
Non-binary. Money.
Sounds like the pervert mafia to me, Clay.
Interesting. So now I'm going to continue playing a couple clips here because I want people to really hear. So you've all know Harari, who is an individual who is openly gay, who is writes in Hebrew, reads in Hebrew.
The false prophet.
The false prophet. Yeah, he's praised by Obama, Zuckerberg, Gates. He's from Israel. He's praised by MIT, Stanford, Harvard. We're told that he is the leading intellectual in the world. This guy's calling for the removal of Benjamin Netanyahu from Israel and President Trump from America.
Unbelievable.
When sitting down with Christine Lagarde, from the European Monetary Fund. Listen to this. Here we go.
The financial system will become so complicated as AI takes over more and more of the action that it will be just too complicated for the human mind.
In the end, the ultimate.
So Christine Lagarde is the president of the European Central Bank, and she's going, so how's this new money system going to work, this non-binary money? He says,
the financial system will become so complicated as AI takes over more and more of the action that it will be just too complicated for the human mind.
Okay, so let's repeat the 5 points real quick, James. Make sure I'm a good teacher. Okay, so point one, what do you got?
The quantum dot stores medical and financial information underneath your skin.
Who made it?
MIT.
Yeah, okay. Second.
And then MIT also developed the CBDC.
Okay, point three.
It was funded by Bill Gates and the Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, four.
That's right.
MIT Quantum Dot Network, the CEO Gilbert Verdiam, and he's creating non-binary money.
Yeah, so point number 4 is the quant.network. That's the website to go to, folks. And then the fifth point is it's non-binary money.
Non-binary money. It's the same spirit, Baphomet. Now, where's the Baphomet connection? Let's bring that in a second.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. Great. So Baphomet is a transgendered logo symbol of Satan.
Yep.
I encourage people not to spend too much time thinking about this, but that's the idea. It's a double-minded. So if we get the Bible out, okay, and we're going to type in James, the book of James. It's double-minded. The Bible warns us about this in the Bible. You open up your Bible to James 1:8. It says, "A double-minded man is unstable."
Unstable.
Stable. What? So, if you ever watch Seinfeld, he said Kramer would say, "Jerry, I'm going to build a hot tub." And Jerry, I'm going to do it. He said, Kramer, you're not going to build a hot tub. And he's like, I will. Don't, Jerry, don't. He's like, Kramer, I bet you that you won't do it. And as we watch the sitcom, it concludes with Kramer says, "The bet's off, Jerry. The bet's off." And Jerry says, "Why?" And he goes, "Because I didn't do it." So it's this double-mindedness where it's like you're halfway in, halfway out. It's very...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a moment with Clay Clerk that we all understand. This is a man who has Morgan Freeman, sort of, introducing his podcast. I just got to tell you, we did start at the bottom. Now we're here, and now we're learning about the double-minded, satanic Baphomet connection to central bank digital currency, and I love every bit of it. Bring it, Clay. Come on.
Okay. So now what you've got, though, is you've got this double-minded, it's non-binary money, non-binary genders, and the non-binary Baphomet symbol. Now you say, well, come on, how does this connect? What are you doing? Okay, now we're going to fly across the ocean from America to CERN.
Yep.
Now CERN is located on top of the former bottom of the bottomless pit, where Satan calls a home base. So that's Revelation 11.
The pit.
Yes. So we're going to type it Revelation 9:11. And James, you better be taking notes, James. So Revelation 9:11 here. And okay, so this is Revelation 9:11. It says, "And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon." but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon, Revelation 9:11. And so now we start to think, okay, Revelation and Antipas. What are you doing? Are you skipping around Antipas? What are you doing? I thought you were Antipas.
Antipas, by the way, means against, and the community of the society of that time spoke against the church, and they said the church is against the culture. That's what Antipas means.
So we go to Revelation chapter 2, verse 13, Antipas Knowledge 101. It says, I know thy works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is.
Come on.
And thou holdest fast my name and hast not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you where Satan dwelleth. So the Bible tells us twice right there where Satan dwells. So if you look up where Antipas was martyred, that is where CERN is located. And if you ask yourself,
wow.
Why did CERN want the mineral rights? Why did CERN want to be located on top of where Satan dwelleth? I know why. I'll tell you in just a second. So CERN has a 666 logo. You getting all this? CERN is a 666 logo. And then CERN is a 666 logo. And CERN is powered by the Google
Quantum computer.
Yes.
AKA the beast.
Okay.
The beast.
The nerds call it the beast. So it's the Google quantum computer, and it has surpassed the IBM Summit computer for quantum supremacy. So this computer that powers CERN is located on top of, again, CERN is located on top of the former Temple of Apollo. CERN's logo is 666. The Google Chrome logo is 666. And this powers, the quantum computer powers what's called the Hadron Collider.
Yep.
This is colliding the dark underworld, Hades. What? And it's trying to bring something, it's sort of open a portal into another dimension because that's where Satan dwelleth, okay? And that's called the quantum computer that powers CERN. And the name of the technology that powers the new CBDCs is called Quant Dot
Network.
Yes.
Man.
And technology in the shots is called the
Quantum Dot.
Yes, that's what's called Quantum Dot. So
Wow.
you're seeing now the Earth is covered right now with 30,000 low orbit satellites. What? 30,000 low orbit satellites. How many? 30,000.
30,000. Wow.
I feel like you're exaggerating, brother. That's a big number. Look it up, folks. So 30,000 low orbit satellites. They were put there by Elon Musk's Dragon rockets. Dragon?
What? The Dragon rockets. Wow.
And and the Earth is now covered with 30,000 low orbit satellites that emit 5G. Now 5 is penta, G is gram. So the Earth is now blanketed with the pentagram,
Man.
which then connects, if you have in your body, if you have mRNA modifying nanotechnology in your body. Charles Lieber saw to it. Charles Lieber got paid $50,000 a month. He got paid $50,000 a month, this Harvard professor, Charles Lieber, to create RNA modifying nanotechnology that connects your body to 5G. What? So if you go to timetofreeamerica.com/revelation, you can see the patents. So now your body emits what's called a media access code, which connects you to the 5G, aka the gram. 5 is penta, G is gram. And you can't escape it because if you go onto Google Earth right now, folks, do it tonight, type in your home address, and guess what Google can now see? Everything.
Everything.
So the other day, I was with my son. My son's 15, just turned 16 years old. We're driving. I'm trying to make sure he's a good driver. So every night we get in the truck, and I'm going, son, we're driving to Brahms Ice Cream and Dairy to get me a chicken sandwich. And he says, Dad, I don't want to go that way. It's so busy. The traffic is everywhere. And I go, oh, no, that's where we're going, baby, right into the belly of the beast.
So, I find it interesting when you're talking about Antipas and the Church of Pergamus and all that area, and that being right over where CERN is built right on top of. When you're talking about Antipas, there's a very unique point there, though. Antipas being the faithful martyr, his name means against. And what you're doing and what so many of your followers are doing is they're standing against the system, this wicked, corrupt system. And that is where the culture begins to call you Antipas. It was like a code name or a name that was a sarcastic name given to him to mean against. You're just against everything. You Christians are against everything. You're against development. You're against perversion. You're against this new central bank mess. And so that is an interesting point, that Antipas was in that same city where Satan's throne was, and God called him basically his faithful martyr and hero. And I think that's a really strong point, Clay, that you're making. Just wanted to tie that into all the darkness as well.
This is powerful, and you begin to see, my son's driving and he's driving the car. I'm trying to, make light of the fact that he's feels like he's driving like a nervous bomb diffuser. Like he's supposed to cut the right wire, and then he's got dilithium crystals in the vehicle, or like he's driving around
Back
with
to the future.
yeah, it's like
88 miles per hour.
Right. And it's like he's got some kind of nuclear, device in the van in the truck. He doesn't want to explode. So he's driving like that, though. It's like he's got your enriched uranium in the back of the truck. So he's driving, and I'm trying to make light of the fact that I'm getting sick because he keeps doing this. I'm like, stop all the vibration, focus. Okay, we're gonna drive there without making me nauseous. And I said, son, you notice the 5G? Look how great the foliage is this time of year. Look at those 5G towers. I mean, they are
right.
Wow, they're prevalent. Have you noticed when the lock happened, the 5G towers went up?
Yes.
Downs, 5G towers went up. So we're driving, and on the Google Earth, notice, folks, how detailed the images are of your house.
Mm-hmm.
And the images are starting to update. At first it was kind of a cool feature, like, oh, cool, Google Earth. Look, I wonder what it looks like. Wonder what the aerial view is of my favorite baseball stadium. Now we're like, how in the heck did Google get that view of my backyard?
Right.
The Earth is now covered with these 5G low orbit satellites. So now the non-binary money can be turned on or off based upon your adherence to the social credit score system.
Man.
So Jonathan Kahn, who's I consider to be a friend, I'm trying to trick him to come to the Reawaken America tour, saying things
That'd be great.
"Hey, John, you should come to the Reawaken America tour." And he's a busy guy. He's been on my show a few times, but I'm trying to get him to the tour. I might say things like, "I won't be there," just to trick him. Maybe he's like, oh, "Okay, cool. If you're not there, I'll be there." Whatever. I've tried different angles. I've tried to be very transparent. I said, "I definitely will be there." And he's a hard pass. So I'm going to keep working on him, but eventually I'll get him. So
That's
he
great,
was
Clay.
on Glenn Beck's show the other day. And he said these words. I want everyone to open your Bible to Acts chapter 17, verse 29. Acts chapter 17, verse 29. I'm going to hit play. Listen to Jonathan Kahn break it down here.
The Bible says that when you turn away from God, you end up serving the works of your hands. And when Paul speaks about the pagan worship of idols, he uses a interesting word. He uses a Greek word, techne. We get the word technology. So what is happening now, we turn away from God, we are actually serving our technology. We actually are glued to our technology.
It's weird because when I read that, I thought of everybody you ever see on technology, they've got their head bowed.
Yes. And
it's almost as if we are worshiping it because you become that which you gaze upon.
Yeah. And the word, it says with Israel, it says Baal was God, but there were many forms of Baal. It says they had many Baals. The Baal means master. So you get mastered by anything. And so we are mastered by technology. We now have technology that's taking over our thoughts. We have artificial intelligence that is now a danger to us. And the Bible says the people become like what the idol they made, they become like it. Well, now we have a whole generation that's becoming less human. They're less able to interact. They're becoming more like the machine that they're on, and the machines are becoming more human.
What is it that
Elon Musk
inhibits human machine symbiosis? It's the data rate. We could effectively merge with artificial intelligence.
So Elon Musk, he started a company called OpenAI. It's called OpenAI. He started the company with funding from Bill Gates and Sam Altman, and he's now saying the only way to stop ChatGPT is to merge with it. I'm not kidding. And so now if you go to Twitter today and you look for a company called Neurosity, the program is called the Crown. Look up that word, folks, the word Crown. The Neurosity Crown now connects your brain to ChatGPT.
Oh, my goodness.
So now we're talking about connecting everybody's mind to this demonic. Now, someone says demonic. Clay, you can't just say that word. That's good. So Elon Musk, it's discernment. You got to think about these things. Elon Musk was asked to describe this technology. He was asked, as they said, Elon Musk, you're developing OpenAI. Could you please explain to us how would you describe it, Elon Musk? This is what he says.
With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon.
Yep. Like CERN's doing.
Those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Didn't work out.
So now if you go to timetofreeamerica.com, I have a button there called CERN. I wish I didn't have to have that button, but I do. And when you go there, what I thought would be the most compelling thing to do was to go to the CERN website and to look at the actual scientific research that is on their website. And if I could gather that and I could read that content to your listeners right now. James, could you please read so this is on the CERN website, folks. You got to look this up. Tell me what CERN is finding on their website.
So the Large Hadron Collider says that the Titanic machine may be possibly create or discover previously unimagined scientific phenomena or unknown unknowns. For instance, an extra dimension. Out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it, said Sergio Bertolucci, who is the director for research.
Now we go to paragraph number 4, and they're really detailing what they're seeing using the Hadron Collider, and they see what?
It seems that a racing cert that we're looking here at an imminent visit from a race of carnivorous dinosaur men and the superhuman clone hive legions of that were some evil genetic queen empress, infinite polypantheons of dark nega deities imprisoned for the eons and hungering to feast upon human souls, a parallel history, victorious Nazi global Reich, or something of that type.
Dinosaur, carnivorous men, with all that
Right.
just defined. That's fallen angels. That's demonic technology. These things are
There it is.
interdimensional Genesis 11 stuff. Clay,
Right.
this is fascinating and it's horrifying, but we got the light.
I agree with that. Now, I want people to understand this idea, okay? So Martin Rothblatt is the top-earning biopharmaceutical industry CEO in 2018. He earned more money in the biopharmaceutical industry than anybody else in 2018. He also invented Sirius XM satellite radio, and he was on TED Talk, and I went to listen to what he says on TED Talks. Here we go.
But this doesn't really look like a Martine.
Martin Rothblatt.
Right. That was myself as a male, the way I was brought up. And before I transitioned from male to female and Martin to Martine.
Real quick, he wrote a book called From Transgender to Transhuman. Listen to that, folks. Look it up on Amazon. He wrote a book called From Transgender to Transhuman. Here you go.
The thesis in this book is that there are 7 billion people in the world and actually 7 billion unique ways to express one's gender.
What?
So I conceptualize the possibility that just like we keep cars and planes and buildings going forever with an unlimited supply of building parts and machine parts, why can't we create an unlimited supply of transplantable organs to keep people living indefinitely? We'll be able in the next couple decades, once software is able to recapitulate consciousness, be able to revive the consciousness which is imminent in our mind file.
Now, you're not just messing around with this. You're serious. I mean,
this dude then makes a computer clone of his wife who's currently alive. Listen to this.
Who is this?
This is a robot version of my beloved Spice Bina.
When you got married, if someone had told you that in a few years' time, the man you were marrying would become a woman, and a few years after that, you would become a robot.
Baphomet.
Baphomet, yep.
How has it gone? How has it been?
It's been really an exciting journey.
Man.
Everybody in the world, billions of people will be able to develop mind clones of themselves that will have their own life on the web.
Mind clones of themselves. Listen to this.
Imagine that one day we
Elon
will
Musk
be able to download our human brain capacity into a Optimus.
Yes. I think that is, I'm not saying this is, I think it is possible, I think, to do that. It is possible.
Which would be a different way of eternal life, because we would also download our personalities into a body.
Yes.
So again, we'll just be very, very clear. Elon Musk bought Twitter to accelerate the implementation of the X app. X is the sign of Satan, folks. Look that up. You go to timetofreeamerica.com. I've got it all there. So he's introducing the X app. The X app is like the American version of WeChat. WeChat is the app they use in China to implement the social credit score system. So Elon Musk right now is convincing most conservatives. I would say most conservatives believe that Elon Musk is a good guy. Sure. He kind of comes across as like an angel of light almost. And a lot of people are excited about Elon Musk and freeing us on Twitter. Meanwhile, he's implementing the X app, connecting brains to computers, putting mRNA inside the human body, connecting brains to the internet. He owns a company called CureVac, which is one of the largest mRNA manufacturing facilities on the planet. He agrees with Klaus Schwab on universal basic income, on the mRNA technology in the body, on connecting the brains to computers. So that's what's happening. And that is why we do these Reawaken America tour events. And that's why we're going to Miami here in May. It's not because I want to make money. And by the way, folks, if you want to lose a lot of money quickly, you want to start the Reawaken America tour, because I do lose a lot of money quickly. I just found out today I have passed $385,000 on my legal bill alone related to allowing certain speakers to speak. So I'm being sued, subpoenaed, the whole deal. Then the events, we let people name their price. And I'll tell you why. Because people come after, Joseph. They come after, if you're doing a big event and you let people come to an event, a lot of people go, what's your motive? And so my wife and I felt that it was the best thing to show our motives were pure, to let people name their price. And so if you go to timetofreeamerica.com, you can buy a ticket, you can come to the event. We try to give people like your good friend, Pastor Greg Locke, Jennifer Flynn, Cash Patel, Eric, Peter Navarro, Devin Nunes, all an opportunity to share the truth. No censorship, no big sponsors, no teleprompters, nothing but the truth. And so for Miami, May 12th and 13th, we have just under 45 tickets remaining. We have 40 tickets left. You can get those tickets at timetofreeamerica.com. Trump Doral, May 12th and 13th. May 12th and 13th. And again, you can name your price. 80 confirmed speakers. Doors open up at 5 a.m. You can grab a seat at 6 a.m. We go nonstop till 8 p.m. And then we have baptisms on Friday night. It is going to be awesome. All of President Trump's inner circle is there. But that's what we're trying to do, is wake up America.
Clay, how can people support you? How can they support this? Like, we're in a church-based mindset also. How can people partner with you? Is there a way to do that?
Yeah. Well, the best thing, and I really appreciate you asking, and I appreciate everyone who's helped. If you go to timetofreeamerica.com, I have a button that says donate to support Clay Clark fight against Eric Coomer's lawsuit. Eric Coomer's the former head of security and strategy for Dominion, who ran a moving vehicle into a parked building during the day while intoxicated, and then denied it while talking to police about it, who were wearing a body cam, so it didn't end well. But he is saying that I am defaming him by allowing speakers to speak on the Reawaken tour. And so that's what that financial persecution is all about, called lawfare. And so far, we've spent just under $400,000 on legal fees, and with no end in sight. And so if anybody out there, if you're listening and you want to donate anything at all, you can do that. And more importantly, I would just say this, is I encourage everybody to come out to the event. 3 calls to action. Go to timetofreeamerica.com. Join us at one of these Reawaken America Tour events, because you're going to meet people like yourself that are in the flow, that are in the know. It's so important to get connected. Hebrews 10:25, look it up. We should not forsake the gathering, even as we draw closer to the end. Second, I would recommend you go to timetofreeamerica.com if you're looking for a job that doesn't require the shots, if you're looking for a COVID-19 vaccine religious exemption, if you're looking for all the facts that support what we just said. If you want to watch the Reawaken America Tour documentary, you can watch that tonight for free at timetofreeamerica.com. And then third is, I encourage you, carve out time in your schedule every single day to read the Bible. Because you read Luke chapter 21 and Matthew chapter 24, you'll go,
here we are.
That's what's happening.
I want to say something about this too, because Clay, you have stood up, and for our audience, and maybe many of you know Clay, maybe many of you don't, I really want to encourage our audience, anybody who's seeing this, to go seek out Clay's podcast, Clay Clark's podcast, the Thrive Time Show, his website, everything he just said. Here's the reason why. When the pandemic hit and all kinds of church leaders shrunk back, Clay got a word from God, and he stood up and began to hold conferences all over the U.S. And he induced revival in America, while many people, the pretty pony crowd, was shrinking back and falling into the wayside. Clay stood up, and I'll tell you what, I believe God's very pleased with that. And everybody that's watching this, I encourage you to get behind Clay, go to his events, stand with what he's doing, because we stand now or we lose it all. America's in deep trouble. And I'll tell you, the only thing we can do is shout and bring information and continue to inform, and God willing, people will make a change.
I appreciate you saying that. And again, I believe that we are seeing a separation of the goats and the sheep.
And now, the sheep.
Interesting thing about Baphomet, back to that one in there. Goat, look it up, folks. Goat, Baphomet. Okay, so literally, we're seeing a separation between the sheep and the goats. So the goat is, Baphomet is like a goat mixed with like a half man, half woman kind of thing. So you're actually seeing the separation of the sheep and the goats, and the sheep will hear God's voice and recognize
it's true.
Who he is. And you're seeing the literal separation right now. So if you're out there today and you say, how can I learn more? You got to go to Luke chapter 21, read that whole thing.
That's right.
Chapter 24, read that whole thing. Read Revelation chapter 6, read that whole, read all Revelation, but Revelation chapter 6, you'll understand what's happening, and that'll give you a context, because the world doesn't understand that the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation fit together. They don't understand that. So it's hard for them to understand what's happening. This transgender mutilation of our children is not political debate. It's a spiritual debate. It's good versus evil. And I think
it is
time for me.
Well, man, I'll just tell you guys, Clay's got all the information. There's this and so much more. You go to his websites, check him out. We're going to have all that provided for you right on the screen here. Go check out Clay, check out the information. Here is a warrior and a champion in our time. Clay, I just, one quick question. How soon do you think they're crashing the stock market so we can go ahead and flip over to this digital currency without any negotiating? Like it's just going to be over? Or how do you think they're going to try to do it?
I'm not going to guess. I'll just tell you the facts so we understand this. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. That's BRICS countries. They've all teamed up together to announce a partnership where they're going to introduce what's called a programmable central bank digital currency. It's based in Shanghai. You can look up. It's called the New Development Bank. It's based in Shanghai. And to really kickstart it, they needed to get Iran. They needed to get Mexico. They need to get Saudi Arabia to team up. And so now there are 41%, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. That's 41% of the Earth's population. But now we've just flipped to where the majority of the Earth's population is teaming up with BRICS. So you're going to see the de-dollarization of the Earth today, right now. BRICS is having their conference, their annual conference is happening right now. As we speak, it's happening right now. And at that conference, they're going to announce the continual de-dollarization. So in a country that imports everything, America, we will no longer have dollars that we can export and exchange for the things that we import. So it's going to be tough buying things that we need when our money is worth less. So that's where we're headed.
Yep. Thank you for that information. I encourage everybody to check this out. You'll get more and more information. Listen to Clay's podcast, listen to his Thrive Time show, go to his websites, and attend the Reawaken America tour. We need you, Clay. Clay, thank you so much. James, thanks for being here. You guys have just been awesome. I appreciate your time and all your insight. It's always a thrill to have you, Clay. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too, man. God bless you guys. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
These days, there's a lot of smoke on the topic of angels and spiritual encounters. I don't know if you're like me, but I like results when it comes to the things of God. That's why I believe the Spirit of the Lord had me write this book, Servants of Fire. This is a last days prayer manual of prophecy, intercession, and angelic activity that really will get results based on the Bible and real horsepower. I encourage you to get your copy today at josephz.com. Well, I am so thankful you're here. You know, this ministry is expanding. We are growing, and it is to the glory of the Lord. And I want to say something to every partner here, whether you are a recent partner or been with us a very long time. From the bottom of our heart, thank you. Partners, because of you, we could not do what we're doing. We're taking territory, we're building new media all the time, we're advancing, we're putting out written materials and giving away content all over the world. And we're so grateful to you for it. You send us on journeys that cost nothing to the people who are bringing us in. And I want to say simply to you, thank you. Now, if you want to join our partner family and you're watching, I encourage you to do so today. You go to josephz.com or you can text the keyword GIVE to 719-259-0029. If you join our partner family, you're going to hear from us. We will love on you. We will pray for you. We will stand with you over all your dreams and your visions. And I'm telling you what, Heather and I, we constantly are praying for our partners. So please consider, if you're on the fence, join the partner family and let's do this thing together, both in prayer and generosity. We believe that God is going to make all your purpose, destiny, and dreams come to pass. We're standing with you for it. So thank you for considering partnering with us today. Again, you go to josephz.com. We have a lot of territory to take, and we want to do it together. God bless you. Remember, on a bad day, you're the best there is, and you are called to be and shine the light in darkness. I'll see you again next time right here as we continue bringing a now word of the Lord. God bless you.